So for our activity today, we are going to be looking at some continued information about specifically greenhouse gases. The section is broken up into 4 parts. We've got A, B, C, D, and each one of these can be found outlined on that initial website. So when you jump in here, you're going to go right to this focus of greenhouse gas because there are a couple different sections happening here. So this is our topic overall, and then these are our 4 sections, A, B, C, D. And you'll also see these little pictures as well. So we're going to get into the U.S. climate change indicators, greenhouse gas, and again, these are the 4 things. Each section is organized by graphs and key points. So we've got these bullet points in here that are sometimes referenced along with each of these figures. So looking at our worksheets, I tried to be as clear as I could and say, okay, figure 1, figure 2, key points, whatever it is. So that's what you're looking at. And of course, as always, up to you if you want to go half screen or kind of bounce back and forth. I just want to get you set up here because these first few graphs that we're seeing, actually a lot of them that we're seeing, are a little bit different than what we've seen before. So here we're looking at which greenhouse gas has been emitted the most for figure 1. So we have a couple different types of greenhouse gases shown here. And typically when we look for the one with the most, we go to the top of the graph. But this is also showing individual subtopics as well as totals, right? So this top line up here is the total amount shown. I want to know which gas has been emitted the most. So I want to look at the biggest segment. So looking at this graph of all the types of greenhouse gases, I can see that carbon dioxide, or CO2, is the biggest emitter, right? Carbon dioxide. Same thing we're seeing here in figure 2. I've got emissions for all these different types of energy uses, different ways that CO2 is emitted. I want to know which 2 emitted the most. So again, I'm not going up to the top to find the highest. It's kind of a pie chart on a line graph, right? I'm looking at the components. So which 2 are essentially the thickest, giving us the most information, or most CO2, okay? So some of them here are going right to the figure. Some of them are down here in key points. When you're ready to move on to part B, then you can just jump to that next section on the website. Global greenhouse emissions, so again, A, B, C, D. And what we're trying to get to today for part 1 is all those little questions and end right here. So you're finishing with a part 1 wrap-up, giving a big idea, summary statement. What have we known about greenhouse gas changes over the years, and how does that impact the climate? And pulling in one piece of data to support our information. So in your investigation today, what's one numerical value that you can add to your summary here? That's what we're thinking about. So there's no submissions yet, just have that first part done and ready to go. As always, reach out with questions.